This is Art on the Airwaves with Cammy Davis on KSKQ 89.5 FM in Ashland, Oregon. And welcome to Art on the Airwaves. I have a special treat for you today with my theme song, so here it goes. Our mics are off right now. Is that a good level?
Yeah.
It's like all the way up.
I'm gonna race you to the fence, to the fence. I'm gonna race you to the fence.
So much.
I'm gonna chase you round the block, round the block. I'm gonna chase you round the block. Come on, jump out the door. You can't hold it back no more. I'll show you how the birds learn how to fly.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna take you on a ride, on a ride. I'm gonna take you on a ride. I'm gonna race you to the sky, to the sky. I'm gonna race you to the sky. Come on, jump out the door. You can't hold it down no more. I'll show you how the birds learn how to fly.
It does.
Don't mind leaving your nest. Don't mind making a mess. This might be the best day of your life. La 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 la. La 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 la. I'm gonna race you to the moon, to the moon. I'm gonna race you to the moon. We're gonna get there real soon, real soon. Hold your breath, I bet we'll get there soon. Come on, jump out the door. You can't hold it back no more. I'll show you how the birds learn how to fly. Don't mind leaving your nest. Don't mind making a mess. This might be the best day of your life. La 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 la.
That goes through my head over and over. La la la.
La la la.
She's saying something else.
La 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 la.
Yeah, it's different, and I like the la la la's.
It's easier to say a la than it is a
Is that way I can sing it? I love the high range menu. I've never heard that before. You gotta do that more. Oh my God, did you love it? You should have seen here in the studio, and actually it's going to be on the YouTube once I get it uploaded, because Jeff Kloetzel and I were singing along to that, although he was singing in tune, I wasn't, but that's okay. I was also dancing out of tune, but that's okay. I was having fun. So I've got Jeff Kloetzel in the station today, and the really cool thing is that he recorded that theme song just for Art on the Airwaves. Jeff, I love it.
Thanks, Cammy. Awesome.
It's absolutely awesome. And the really cool thing, I want you to tell our listeners just a little bit about the recording of it, because how this happened was about 2 years ago when I started my Art on the Airwaves show. I had posted the theme song that I chose for it, which is Best Day of Your Life by Katie Herzig. And I had posted it on Facebook, and Cheryl Garcia, a local artist that many of you know, the California Poppy, Cheryl Garcia, had responded and had said, you know, you should ask a local musician to record that for you, like Jeff Kloetzel. So I had not.
Really? Wow.
Did I
That
not?
came from Cheryl.
Did I not? You're going to beat her up later. No.
No, it's all good.
I don't know if I told you that. So I had never met Jeff, and I, did my normal thing. I tripped on into South Stage Cellar. It was like,
Right.
Jeff, you don't know me. I'm Cammy Davis. Would you record my theme song?
I remember that conversation. Actually.
Do you?
Yes, that was about a year and a half ago, I think. Maybe
Yeah.
Thereabouts. Yeah.
Thereabouts. Yeah. Well, about 2 years ago.
Was it
It
about 2
was
years ago?
right
Wow.
around. it only took you 2 years to record that for me, Jeff.
Well, okay, but I only just got on the show 2 years later. So.
I know, it took me 2 years to find. Oh, there you go. Well, that's what it took. It was the song. So yeah, I tripped in there and asked him. But yeah, and then I didn't see you for like I don't know, probably like a year. I can get pretty housebound with Grandma sometimes. And then I was in Two Hawk, and you were singing. And I went, oh my God. And I walked up and I said, Jeff, I know you don't remember me, but, and you said, Cammy Davis, I have your business card on my refrigerator.
What's that cool sun thing? I love it. It's great.
Did you see that on my truck?
I did see that, yes.
Yeah, so
wow.
Yes, I painted the art beast with my sunshine logo for my upcoming trip to Portland. But anyway, that song, Best Day of Your Life, Jeff Kloetzel just recorded for me. I wanted to ask you a few things about it. I'm not being very musical, and I say that because I don't know much about music, but I absolutely love it. I live my life to music. I paint to music. When I couldn't sleep in the middle of the night last night, I was listening to music. I mean, music is kind of everything to me. But I found it fascinating when you told me that you did all those tracks, all the background singing, all the music, everything.
That's right. Yeah.
So what are the different instruments that you use?
So on that song, well, first off, I remember we had that conversation, and even back in the day, I had downloaded lyrics for that and started to think about it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I went back and I found what I downloaded, and I had written notes in there about who I thought, oh, I'd like to have this person play like, the vibraphone on it, Reed Bentley, and have like Jen Matsura sing some like operatic vocals in the background. So I had all these ideas. Of course, when it comes right down to it, all of a sudden it's wow, wait, that show's a week away. I better get on this. And so that whole thing was recorded on my little MacBook Pro at home, just in GarageBand. I did use outboard mics on that, which is something I usually don't do on demos. I usually just play right into the mic at the top of the screen and make it happen that way. But I like covering songs a lot, and so it's fun to have a chance to make it your own. I think maybe one of the things that makes me slightly different in my covers is that I don't listen to the original when I'm trying to cover it, when I'm learning it. I just try to remember how it goes. I get the lyrics and the chords maybe, and then I maybe change up the rhythms or whatever. And this one I definitely changed it up, kind of gave it more of an island feel, I think. So I went with the ukulele instead of a guitar. I mean,
that's what you were playing?
So there's two ukulele or ukulele, whatever you want to call it, tracks on there. That's the only true stringed instrument on there. There's no guitar in there. So there's two ukuleles,
I thought it was guitar.
A bass track, 3 percussion tracks, a vibraphone track. That's all off the keyboard.
Yeah,
and
I want
5 vocals on there. So.
I want to. So the vocals were so interesting to me because, especially when you told me it was you, because they're different, like I don't know, harmony. They're different.
Yeah.
They're going in different directions. How can you do that many different little things?
Well, I mean, notes. Everybody thinks about playing a chord on the piano or a chord on the guitar. You can totally make a chord with voices. You just hit those same notes and make the chord up with your voices. It sounds nice and full. And I love overdubbing. Is what we call that in recording. I lay down just one part and then start adding things over the top that kind of come in and come out of a recording, kind of move through it, whatever. And to me, that's one of the fascinating things about recording and producing in the studio. Whether you're in a pro one or at home, you get to try all these different things, see what works, what doesn't work. Let's try that part, but we'll try it a little differently. Let's do that as the high vocal, whatever. So yeah, I'm sure there's some. To me, recording is maybe one of the most, and producing. Those are kind of go hand in hand to me, I guess. But those two are some of the most artistic parts of the creation of music, I guess. The creation of recorded music, in that you're laying it down like a piece of art. You're adding this color, you're adding that color. You want to, you want to make. You have something in mind as what this final product's going to be, but you start massaging these pieces into place, and that's what makes the final end composition, right? Yeah. And music's the same way. You start with just a guitar and a voice, but there's all those other things that you hear in the back of your head, like, God, we need to have this here, that there. Give me more blue, and then some orange. I guess the ukulele would be orange.
What color's the vibraphone?
Vibraphone, it's got to be some shade of purple, I'm thinking.
Oh,
Some
I
kind
was
of
going to say
vintage
blue. Okay, I'm
purple.
going to go with purple. Yeah, I know. I think you're right. Tell me what the vibraphone is. You mentioned. I was thinking xylophone. I was trying to be all like, okay, I can figure this because I figured the cello out in that other song by
Right,
somebody else that you
right.
sent me. And you don't know how proud of myself I was that I figured that out. So I thought I can figure out what that is. Then I'll sound like I know what I'm doing when we're on the radio. And I guess xylophone, but it's vibraphone. What is that?
So vibes is basically sort of I guess it's a percussion version of a piano keyboard. I'm not really a pianist or a percussionist, although I did play both those when I was a kid growing up. And so it's been a long time since I saw vibes. But it's like a giant piano keyboard where you're actually striking each note with each key, so to speak, each note with a mallet, and you're playing a piano sort of like. Well, nobody can see me out there. You're banging away on a piano with.
I gotta turn this towards. Wait, do that again.
You're playing away.
You gotta watch the YouTube now, because Jeff's air vibraphoning.
It's such a neat,
air
it's such a
vibing.
great sound. It's a great sound. I love the tone, and I originally thought of my Ashland buddy Reed Bentley. It'd be great to have him play a real vibe because he's got a vibe, and it would be really cool to have had him play something like that on it. But time is of the essence sometimes.
I've heard his name before. I'm gonna need to meet him and maybe get him in here because he's local, right? I have heard his name before. Is that the Brothers Reed?
No, this is
Different Reed.
This is a drummer, a guy that graduated from the SOU percussion program and plays for OSF now. He played in the band with me for.
Okay, his name is familiar for some reason. So
yeah, he's around. He played in many bands in this valley.
Very, very cool.
But never vibes that I'm aware of. Only drums.
Well, we're going to get back with Jeff Kloetzel a little bit more in a second because he's going to play 2 live songs for us today. And then when we close out the show, we're going to play Come Back to Me, which we're also going to be talking about in a little bit. It is the song to the video that he and I created together. Which I'm really excited to talk with him about. I want to tell you guys about my morning because I woke up this morning, didn't sleep great last night, so I spent most of last night, listening to music while I was trying to sleep and couldn't. And but I woke up this morning and there was this picture of a cauliflower on my phone when I woke up, and I was like, "Oh, okay, why is there a cauliflower?" And so I looked at it, and it was a text from my daughter, my oldest daughter, Tara. Turns out that my grandson is now the size of a cauliflower in her belly. I'm never going to quite look at cauliflower the same. But the cauliflower has a name, and she will not tell me what she is naming my grandson. So I'm thinking maybe if I call it the cauliflower enough that maybe she'll cough up the name, so I'll call it something else. But I'm really excited. It's a cauliflower at this point, and it is going to be born on December 31st. I am hoping to be up in Seattle for the birth of it, but as long as it doesn't come early, because when I gave birth to Tara, I barely made it to the hospital. It was under an hour, and I was 17 at the time, so that was interesting to almost give birth to her in the car. So anyway, I'm hoping that my grandson takes it a little slower, and I can be up there and watch him being born. The other thing I wanted to talk about today is I spent last week as a week of art. I got all the business out of my life and, on hold. I kind of told everyone, nope, contact me after the week is over. And my friends called it my week of sequestering, but it was really amazing. I spent the whole week painting and with music on and just focusing on my art, which I don't give myself enough time to do in my life. And it was such a week of personal growth, as well as some beautiful paintings that came out of it. And they're all going to go into the Art Beast with my Sun logo on the side that Jeff and I mentioned. And I'm going to be driving those up to Portland in 1 week to leave them for the exhibit that I'm going to have at the J. Pepin Art Gallery in the Pearl District in Portland for October. They will be up for the whole month of October. So if you're passing through Portland or in Portland, good time to stop and check out that gallery. And if you're up there on the first Thursday of October, which is October 1st, that's when the opening reception is, during their first Thursday Art Walk. And my next Art on the Airwaves show is on October 2nd. And here's something really cool. I will be up in Portland, but guess who is going to host it? KSKQ listeners are going to recognize this name, Maya Seligman of Maya's Mix. Maya's Mix, she was voted the favorite DJ in the Rogue Valley by the Rogue Valley Messenger. And her mixes are amazing because she comes up with different themes. And for the hour that she is doing my show, this will be on October 2nd, of course it's going to be an art theme. And I can't wait to see what art song she comes up with. So that's really cool. That's on October 2nd. And then on the third Friday in October, my guest is going to be David Humphreys from he's the executive director of the Oregon Center for the Arts at SOU, which is music and dance and art. So I can't wait to talk to him and find out more about what the local university is doing in their art program. So that will be on the third Friday in October. So we're going to go to our first live song by Jeff. Although I got to hear that theme song live because he was singing along. It was very, very cool. What song, Jeff, are you going to play?
I think I'm going to do Clear Morning Light, one of the songs from my CD, and this has a tie to you, in that you created a painting to this song.
Did you like that painting?
Yeah, I did. I loved it. I loved that's the one with the cool greens.
Yeah.
The really interesting greens with some yellow hint in there. I enjoyed that one. And
thank you.
I think that's super cool that you're motivated by and inspired by music to create art out of create fine art out of some of this.
Thank you for saying that. And that painting was one that Jennifer Pepin chose for that exhibit. I sent her my images, and she went through and picked out paintings. And I noticed with the ones that she chose the paintings that I really connected with emotionally. That one was after a really tough night with my grandma, who listeners probably know has Alzheimer's and is wheelchair bound. And I am her sole caregiver, so it's becoming more and more difficult. It was after a really tough night with her where she was had a lot of fear in her, and I just woke up in the morning and I reached for music like I often do, and I reached for Jeff's album, and that song came on, and it actually really moved me that day, and I'm glad you enjoyed the painting because your song did that.
Well, that's an interesting segue because the song is called Clear Morning Light.
Yeah, what's it about?
I wrote that many years ago, but what you were just saying, it really ties in. So it's about kind of waking up half groggy in the middle of the night, and you know, whether it's from a bad dream or whatever, your problems seem a little more amplified than they really are, and how, maybe when you wake up in the morning, the sun's up, they seem like they're more handleable. Is that a word? I don't know. They seem to be more, all right, I got this. All right, I can do this, and I was all worried about it last night. So the fact that you was kind of tied to a kind of a tough night for you seems to be in keeping with the theme of the song anyway.
Thank you. I think that's why your music moves so many people, is that that it is personal to you, and that's usually what resonates with other people in art and music, I think.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
So here is Jeff Kloetzel.
Let's see his guitar up there.
Here we go.
All right, Clear Morning Light. I awoke late last night, some kind of dream. Everything was different, oh, so it did seem. But you know how it is, cloudy with sleep. When it all feels so red, the hill is steep. And I feel better now about the clear morning light. Feel better now with it all inside. Yes, I know I'll be alright. Feel better now about the clear morning light. She thinks her life would crumble without him there. Now the time he gave to her was like playing solitaire. At night awake in bed, she'll toss and turn. But she knows when the morning comes, she will outlive.
should feel better now. I clear morning light. Feel better now with it all inside. Yes, I know it should be alright. Feel better now by the clear morning light. I awoke again last night, talking in my sleep, holding conversations instead of counting sheep. Problems that I could not solve, he had my soul. Take hold of my dream existence, out of control. And I feel better now by the clear morning light. Feel better now with it all inside. Yes, I know I'll be alright. Feel better now. I feel better now by the clear morning light. Feel better now with it all inside. Oh, I know I'll be alright. Feel better now by the clear morning light. Clear morning light. Clear morning light. All right, Clear morning light.
So pretty.
Ah,
Oh
thank
my
you.
God. I swear to, there's nothing like listening to music live. Like whenever somebody comes in the studio, I fall in love with them and the music, and then I go home and I listen to it again. It's not quite the same. It's really good, but there's just something about it live, and I love that on version on your CD.
Cool, thank you.
Where can people buy your CD, by the way?
So the CD is called Long Time Coming, and it is available at all my shows. I play every week here in the Rogue Valley, all over the place. You can check out my website or my Facebook page. Jeff Kloetzel Music is the Facebook tag, and that is Kloetzel is Kloetzel. My website is jeffkloetzel.blogspot.com, and then the CD is always for sale at South Stage Cellars in Jacksonville, Ashland Wine Cellar here in Ashland, and at Pebblestone Cellars kind of outside of Phoenix. So you can grab it at a winery or at a wine shop, or obviously there's a wine tie-in because I play a ton of winery gigs, or all my gigs, or online. cdbaby.com is my my number one online retailer. You can also do the Amazon or iTunes things if you must. But, CD Baby is an Oregon company. Give that company some business. They're great for independent artists.
I love that. And thanks for mentioning, I love that you mentioned local for the local listeners, but we also have thousands of people now that listen on the podcast and watch
Awesome.
on YouTube. So I'm glad that you mentioned those links
CD
as
Baby.
well. CD Baby, people. I'm going to read a word from our sponsors right now. Ashland Creek Press. So you are on the air listening to Cammy Davis with Art on the Airwaves on KSKQ 89.5 FM in Ashland, Oregon. And my guest today is Jeff Kloetzel, who is a musical artist, and we're also going to be interviewing him today, which I'm really putting him on the spot on this, I feel like, because, typically I have a guest that I interview, and then I have a musician, and then the person gets a break. But Jeff, there are no breaks for you, man. Sorry.
No rest for the weary.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I know one of the things that I really wanted to talk to you about was that you come from a musical family, because I find it really interesting that often artists come from really creative families. Like, you met my sister.
Yes.
My sister's a photographer. I'm an artist. So it's kind of the same thing, at least a little bit from what you've mentioned. So tell the listeners about your family. They're all musical, right?
Yeah, pretty much so. And I have found that a lot of times it does seem to run in families. There's always exceptions to the rule.
But yeah, my family has been musical since since before I can ever recall. My mom was an opera singer. She taught voice
I thought
and
you said
piano.
that.
She got a couple, an undergrad and a master's degree in music. And my
Holy
dad
cow.
I grew up listening to my dad play some guitar and piano. And both my parents sang in choirs all the time when I was growing up. In fact, they sang at the White House when I was a kid during the Carter administration with the choir.
Now there's a childhood.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
And we I'm one of 4 kids. All 4 of us did not have a choice. We went into piano lessons at age 6. And then we played something else in the school band and orchestra. I chose drums, much to my parents' chagrin. They wanted something, beautiful.
You wanted to be the cool drummer.
I like the rhythmic thing. I'm a fairly rhythmic player, I guess. I think that's really made me more of a rhythmic guitarist when I look back on it all. But and I wish I'd stuck with the piano some more. I could still get around that, but I would never perform with one. But piano as a way to start a musical journey, it's such a great way to learn about what makes music what it is. You learn theory, you learn notes, you learn rhythm, you learn everything kind of in conjunction. 2 hands doing 2 different things, bass parts, rhythm parts, melody parts, everything. So it's all kind of tied in, and a great way to start.
I got thrown in front of a piano as well when I was little. That lasted a few weeks. I mean, you're either musical or you're not, right?
Right. It's not, and
I love the piano. I love piano.
It's great. It's a great instrument, but it's not for everybody. I mean, some people. I think they
tried other things. There was like a clarinet. I tried to sing. I'm not the musical. Although I can sing La 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 to your theme song. Like, okay, thank you for doing that for me.
Oh, that's
something
no
simple for me. Thank you for that.
I think an ukulele is actually a great instrument for a kid to start on because, I mean, you learn rhythm, you learn 2 different hand motions, you learn chords, you learn melody. And it's easy. It's 4 strings, and some of the chords are just.
Do you think I could do it?
One finger on a string. You can do that, and you strum with the other hand. You can do it.
I'll pretend I'm a kid. With my grandson, with the cauliflower. The cauliflower and I'll get a ukulele.
Maybe you need to go to the Southern Oregon Ukulele Players Soup group here. I think it's based out of Ashland. You can go and check that out someday.
The Soup group?
Soup. Southern Oregon
Cauliflower, the soup. Yeah, I'm thinking you're right.
So the rest of the family too. I mean,
you said you had a sister that was.
So I got a younger brother who loves to dabble on fiddle. He's more of a bluegrass side of things, and he's got 2 kids. One of whom plays like 5 or 6 instruments at age 18, and he's a little bit of a phenomenon on a few of those.
He's gonna be a little Kloetzel musician.
And then his niece plays guitar and sings as well.
Wow.
And then the next sister down is the real, true professional musician in the family. She's got 2 degrees from Juilliard School of Music in Manhattan.
Wow.
And she's performed all over the world with a group, the Cypress String Quartet, based out of San Francisco. And then my youngest sister was a violinist, and I gave her first guitar, and she got into songwriting back in the day. But she's still an artist. She's a fine arts professor in the world of modern dance. It's a full-time gig, and she's a choreographer. She used to have dance troupes in New York and Philadelphia. But everybody has a musical tie, no doubt about it.
I love that. That is so cool to hear. I thought it'd be really interesting for the listeners to hear a little bit about your background. And I don't know much about it. I just know that you had mentioned something about you were a real estate agent. I found that interesting because I worked in escrow, and to me, that's just such a different side of the brain. I think it helped me because I seem to have a stronger business sense than maybe a lot of artists do. Like, I'm able to switch between the 2, maybe not as well as I'd like, because the paintings, when I actually really get the business side out, are so much more creative. But anyway, I thought it was interesting because one of the reasons that when you and I started doing a few things together was that appealed to me was you have a really strong business side. So how did you go so were you a real estate agent, and then how did you transition to actually making music your career?
Wow, that's a pretty big question.
I like those. I like to stump my guests.
So I've always, I guess, performed in whatever market I was living in, or where I'd go on vacation since the early '90s. I sort of got pulled back into music in the early '90s. I got forced into a friend of a friend's band, and that and I had sort of given music up over the way, but I'd always had a regular full-time corporate day job. So I worked for real estate management for a developer, and got every aspect of the real estate business you can imagine in Honolulu, where I lived for 22 years.
Okay.
But I got kind of pulled back in the musical thing, and I started playing a weekly coffee house gig, which I had for 5 years. But I always had a foot in each world. So I was the musician at night that was always getting up to go to work the next day.
So
Whereas the rest of them were sleeping
you were
until
playing
midnight.
You were playing at night then,
I
even when
still
you had the
played.
corporate jobs.
Oh yeah, I mean, at one point I was probably playing 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh,
plus,
man.
sometimes till 1 at night, and then getting up in the morning and going to work at 9.
Oh God.
But I was a younger guy, and I had all the energy in the world. I could get it done, and I would sit there and write and record songs. I had time for that too, which I don't seem to have time for anymore. Gosh,
I
what a bummer.
know.
Anyway, but as a result, I was always had a foot in each world, and never fully committed to either one. I came here to the Rogue Valley in the very end of 2009,
Mm-hmm.
and proceeded to spend the next 2.5 years unemployed because
Oh yeah, that was not the time to move here.
I assumed that it was not going to be a problem to get a job. I'd never had a problem finding a
Well, wasn't 2008? 2008 was when everything collapsed. That's when
that
I got
was
laid
sort of
off in
the
escrow.
crash. Yeah. And so I came here and didn't, I applied for probably almost 50 jobs, and
Yeah.
I couldn't even get a job putting weights away at the local YMCA or anything.
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
Nothing. But,
Hey, those of you that turned down the Kloetzel, look at him now.
it's all good. But there lies the parameters that make your path what it becomes, I guess. So
Absolutely.
I had to do something. And just to get a little food and gas money, I started playing on the street at the farmers markets around the valley.
I wish I'd been here then.
It was great. It really.
I want you to go do that again.
Well, so in Hawaii, towards the end, I really become like a sideman for about 3 different artists who were bigger than I was, and got to tour a little bit. But becoming a sideman is awesome. It's a great lifestyle. You just show up, plug in, and play. You don't have to remember the words. You just do your parts, and at the end of it, you unplug and you go home while they're stuck with the crowd. But so I maybe had forgotten a little bit about how people really connect with music in a really intimate way, in an intimate environment or whatever. And the farmers markets, I think, really brought me back to that. I mean, you've got all these people wandering by you in a corner. You got 30 seconds or a minute to get them to stop and see if they want to hear your song, or maybe the next song, or maybe you open up the wallet and drop
fork
a
over
buck
some money.
in your jar, So and you could see what made people happy and what they resonated with. So that was great. And I started getting a little busier on that front, and getting got gigs out of that. I got better and better gigs, and eventually that's become my full-time income, full-time living is the music thing. I also work part-time in the wine business, just a day, sometimes 2 days a week, just to tide me over in the winter times. But boy, in the summer, it's busy. I'll play sometimes 16 times in a month. That's plenty for somebody who has to sing all the time. That's a lot of my voice.
I can't imagine having to be on that many times. I think about that sometimes with the musicians, because each time you go to play, it's not like when I'm on is when I'm home with the music crate painting and no one's looking at me and it's just me living my life. When you're on, people are looking at you.
Right,
and
there's no escaping.
no escaping.
And the thing is, it's the same with wine biz. When you're in a tasting room or out pouring, you're the show. You're on deck.
I was a waitress for 12 years. I know that feeling. You're like an actress.
Yeah,
yeah.
At least you can run away into the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
I can't even run away in the middle of the song. Like, this song's not working for me.
Right.
I can't go anywhere. You gotta persevere and power through it. So
I think it'd be a little bit exhausting. Actually, it's interesting. When I started my art business, which was after I got laid off in escrow, I went back to school, and the thought of making a living as an artist, I'd always run from it because, I have my first daughter so young that, and I'm a very responsible person. So supporting my child and then eventually my children, I was a single mom, it took forefront. So even when I went back to school, it was like, I'll be an architect. Yeah, right. My mind doesn't work mathematically, but yeah, anyway, I kept running from art. So anyway, when I ended up getting laid off in escrow, I went to the farmer's market. That's when you were saying that, it was resonating with me. Yeah, well, it was a different one. I think it was Issaquah, but you learn so much. So it's interesting to me that you said that, is you learn so much by watching people, watching what they purchase when they pull out their wallet, like you were saying, what resonates with them. And you can really see it when you're doing a crowd type of function like that, where you're not getting paid unless you figure it out.
Right. I mean, you have to have a product that's worth having, I think.
Yeah.
And so maybe just recognizing that off the bat, you're going to work at your craft to get to that point. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to go to, if your voice is warmed up because you didn't have a chance to give it a break, I guess it probably was. We're going to go to Jeff's next song. When we come back, we're going to talk with Jeff about the video that he and I just recently filmed. That was quite the event, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Actually,
it's pretty wild, yeah.
I should say this because this will get people tuned in to hear the rest of it is, gee, Jeff, last time I saw you playing a guitar, you were naked.
Dot. Yeah.
I know. So, yeah, listen after the song for the rest of that story. So what song are you going to play for us now?
I'm going to do my song Honeybee.
Love that one.
Yeah,
I've got to get
cool.
up and dance, though.
All right. Well,
What's the story about this one?
So the story on this one, I used to drive down to California to see a friend quite a bit, and that's, it's a long drive down the 5, and I listened to a lot of music along the way, and randomly I came across the old blues tune King Bee.
Okay.
I can't remember who did it, but it's a
don't know that
classical
song.
blues song, and then there is a version called Queen Bee out there, and I started thinking, I like this bee theme, so I was toying around with some lyrics. I sort of had a couple lyrics come, that I got down, but I wasn't sure about the music and tried a few things that weren't working. But the song really is tied to Weisinger's Winery. I was setting up to play a Valentine's dinner there in their actual wine making room in the winery, south of Ashland, and I just. I got set up. I was kind of just diddling around the guitar, warming up, and I fell into this thing. This kind of like, I started thinking, maybe that could somehow be. I just kind of liked how that was happening. Anyway, so that is the lick that sort of became the song Honeybee.
The
so
honey
Honeybee
lick
definitely has a Rogue Valley tie.
Oh, it does. So do you usually do your lyrics before your music then?
No, almost. I'm much more of a musical guy than a
Okay.
wordsmith, I think. So I tend to have music inspire me first, and then say, "Oh, that's neat. I gotta figure something out with that." But you just never know, and nothing works the exact same way every time. So that was one where words, kind of the idea and the thought, the lyrical content was first before music on that.
Okay,
It's a
very
little
cool.
more odd for me. Anyway, so that's it's kind of a silly, simple love song, I guess.
People love this. When I
it's
mention your name, they mention Honeybee.
Well,
so.
and interestingly, I'm just sending out some a couple CDs to the American Beekeeping Foundation because of this song.
Totally.
They're using it at their annual, I guess their annual conference. There's going to be some.
They're going to use.
some,
that's awesome.
well, I don't know if they're going to use the song, but they've got some of my CDs that they'll be using as raffle auctions or whatever. I guess they're going to do. So that's kind of a cool tie. I'm all about the bees too.
I love it. Okay,
So
here's Jeff Kloetzel.
Mercury's moving, I can smell those buttercups, stringing bars everywhere. So much pollen in the air, all over my hands. Nectar is nectar goes, ran all back to the high, working with your honey jar. Come on, baby, you got to be my honeybee. Oh, baby, you just gotta be my honeybee. We'll make our own colony, bubble around in harmony. Come on, baby, you got to be, oh, my honeybee. Now you got the buzz, you got the shake, I got the knee, I got the ache. I know about what you stay, but you still make me wanna go. Tasting sugar golden until you know I got it back to you. I want you to fly me home, right back to your honey hole. Come on, baby, you got to be my honeybee. Oh, baby, you just gotta be my honeybee. We'll make our own colony, bubble around in harmony. Come on, baby, you got to be, oh, my honeybee. Now I'm not just another drone, and you're not just a queen. on the lonely street I could be. Come on, baby, you got to be my honeybee. Oh, baby, you just gotta be my honeybee. We'll make our own colony, bubble around in harmony. Come on, baby, you got to be, oh, my honey. Come on, baby, you got to be my honeybee. Oh, baby, you just gotta be my honeybee. We'll make our own colony, buzzing around in harmony. Come on, baby, you got to be, oh, my honeybee, yeah. Let me share your energy. Come on, baby, you got to be, oh, oh, oh. Got to be my honeybee, come on. Honeybee.
I love it. I was dancing around the studio, but thank God the video did not capture that. That was awesome. That is so cool. It's so danceable too.
It's fun. I really, and the album version of that is, boy, has some great performers from the Valley on it. Bob Ebenook played some awesome steel guitar, lap steel. Jeff Stanley played the guitar solos and some great electric guitar. Brett Levick did a whole bunch of stuff on that in the background and bass lines. And Matthew Krimmelman on drums on that.
Jeff Stanley is one of the Jeffs when you do the Jeffs.
Yeah, he is one of the, gosh, there's more Jeffs in this valley and more Jeffs that
there's
play
Jeffs
guitar
everywhere.
in this valley. It's amazing. It's hard to stick out. Anyway,
he's the duo one though, right?
He's
when you do the Jeff duo?
He and I have a Jeff duo we call State of Jeff. And we will be at the Jacksonville Rotary's annual salmon bake at Hanley Farm on Sunday doing the State of Jeff thing. So one of the many, many fine guitar players in this valley. Wow.
What a beautiful setting. I was at Hanley Farm like a week or so ago for a sketch day with a friend.
Oh, cool.
And it started storming when we were there.
Ooh, that sounds dramatic.
It was beautiful.
Yeah,
it's like that. You know how when you see the cloud, the black cloud coming towards you, and then the rain goes down?
Right,
Hopefully you guys won't have that for the salmon bake.
No, it's an outside gig. I hope not.
What other things do you have upcoming in your future? Because I think I saw a post on Facebook, something about, are you headed back to Hawaii where you came from?
Yeah.
For some events?
I go back once a year for a sports tournament of all things that I helped start many, many years ago. This is the 25th anniversary.
What kind of sports do you do, Jeff?
I grew up playing lacrosse, which is a Native American sport that was big.
Is that a horse thing?
Where I grew up. No, that's polo.
Oh, sorry.
Although they do play polo cross, which is a hybrid. But lacrosse is it's sort of like soccer meets hockey. Except you play with a ball and a stick with a basket on the end, and you throw it instead of slap it on the ground.
I can kind of visualize
but it's a huge field. Anyway, so I usually go back for that each year, and I was going to get back together with my musical compatriots back there and do a gig or two with them. So that'll be fun.
So it's like a little homecoming type of thing.
Yeah. But it's a busy weekend. I think actually this afternoon, if anybody's interested, I'll be at. Can I say where I'll be today?
Of course, please do. Are you kidding?
Right outside of Ashland. I don't get to play down here. This is where I got my start in the Ashland area, and there's very few gigs down here anymore. So this is my one time a month to come down. I play at Belfiore each month. And,
I've seen you there before.
Yeah, you came once or twice. Yeah, so I'll be in the dining room there from 6:30 to 8:30.
You were really good, and you played. So when I was painting the art logo on the side of Art Beast, of course, what was going through my head was "Here Comes the Sun." And you played that, and usually I love the songs that you write better than your covers, but that's my favorite song of all time.
It's my favorite Beatles tune too.
It's the best song ever. The first tattoo I got, the one on my foot, is a sunshine, and it is from "Here Comes the Sun."
Nice.
My youngest daughter was ice skating to that. She was adorable. Anyway, you sang that beautifully, and I was going to tell you, I need a recording of that too. Please. Right, anyway, where else are you playing upcoming in the future?
Let's see. Tonight's Belfiore. Tomorrow I'm doing a private house party Saturday or Sunday out there at the Salmon Bake let's see. Typically, yeah, like I said earlier, I mostly play wineries, always at South Stage Cellars, a couple Wednesdays per month for their wine and dine dinner thing. I played Two Hawk monthly, Belfiore monthly. Gosh, we're just winding down on a bunch of the summer series where the many of the wineries have a bigger concert series. So it was great to play at Del Rio with the band. And
I haven't seen you there yet.
that was a great outfit. Yeah, so I also have a band as well as the duo. We've got Jeff K and Overtones.
Jeff K and Overtones, not but Jeff K and Overtones.
Jeff K and Overtones. And so we're putting together some other stuff coming up, but we had a great run in the summer with some of the bigger shows, and a lot of fun to play with those guys. But mainly I tend to do weekly solo gigs.
What are your goals for the future when it comes to your music? Like, are you planning to stay here in the Valley? Are you planning to expand your music? What are you doing?
I want to expand certainly within the state to some extent. I've been putting a lot of viewers in the Bend area. I go through there once a year. I'd love to play up there in this summer. I just was up there making a bunch of contacts this summer. And got one call back right after I'd left town.
Oh, of course.
That's always the way it works. Anyway, missed that gig. But, and I'm real curious about expanding winery shows up into the Willamette, just because it's. I played in the Umpqua Valley and down here in the Rogue Valley ADAs, but the Willamette Valley is loaded with wineries. That's the big, Oregon wine country. We're doing our best to catch up down here, but that's the big one. And it'd be great if I was to be able to put something together like that. I would definitely try to do a little Portland swing too. If that's some contacts in Portland, it'd be fun to play. And really, I'd love to just kind of get the album some more exposure. It's been out, I don't know, maybe 8 months now, and trying to push that in a bunch of different avenues. So.
It's amazing, and you gave a copy to my sister when she photographed you in the human birdcage, and she said the same thing I did, which it is just so listenable. You can put your music on, and you can just listen to it over and over and over. Yeah, it's beautiful. So if you haven't heard him yet, other than today, is you can go to CD Baby and search for Jeff Kloetzel, which is Kloetzel. Yes, I know. And I learned how to pronounce it because Cheryl Garcia told me it rhymes with pretzel.
Correct. That's the way.
Good to remember. Yeah, Cheryl Garcia has helped you out in a few things there. So let's talk about the business side a little bit because on my show, I like to give the artists and entrepreneurs who are listening some business tips. And one of the things that I found so interesting about you is that you have a huge fan base in this area. How did you build that?
I think I started grassroots, I guess. That's probably been one of the biggest changes in how I've been a part of the music business is the promotional marketing side, the kind of building something other than just showing up at a gig and playing and going home.
Yeah.
It's connecting with the people that come out, trying to build that base, trying to build more folks that come out. I mean, the more people you have that are going to appreciate your art and come out and sustain it and support it, the better chance you are of getting asked back to play somewhere. So that was not a lesson that was lost on me. And I guess the marketing side of thing of the whole art business is letting people know what you got going. I mean, if people don't know what's going on, they're never going to find it. They're never going to see it. They're never going to hear it. So I think it's key to get your art openings out there, get your gigs out there, whatever it is. Use the media. The media is there. The local media certainly is there for you. It's easy to get your stuff right to a person via email or upload it to their calendar page or whatever. Use those resources completely. They don't cost you a cent.
Yes.
And because marketing, big companies spend a huge amount of their budget marketing.
Yeah.
And hey, if you don't have to as a little tiny artist, then it's great to be smart about what you're doing with your money when you need to use it for something business purpose wise.
I think that's really smart, and that's, not to interrupt you, we'll go back to that 1 second, but that's one of the things that I've said in videos and on the air quite a bit is I take every opportunity, and I see you doing this, every opportunity that I have, and I run with it as far as I can. And basically what that means is what Jeff just said, is that if you're doing a gig, promote it. So like I remember the first time I hung in a coffee shop is I did a video, I did flyers, I did a free giveaway, I sent it to out a press release that I didn't know how to do. I just jumped in and started doing it. And I've cut back as far as just seeing like what works so I'm not like spinning my wheels. But I do think that you made a really good point that that's how you take that opportunity.
Yeah, another one. I mean, at your shows, at your art openings, at your gigs, whatever it may be, put out that little email newsletter sign-up list. You can do these really professional, fantastic-looking free email, mailers on a monthly basis.
You have a great newsletter.
Yeah,
How do people sign up?
You can sign up right on my Facebook page. There is a click, a little button right up in the upper graphic area there. To just click and sign up for.
You're gonna show me how to do that.
List. And I use a service called madmimi.com, which is free. First of all, it gives you a ton of templates. You create it with you can compose it with all your favorite colors, all your own artwork, all your own photos, whatever. I mean, it's great to keep in touch with your fans. I send it out to well over 300 people each month with the schedule, what else may be going on. I mean, tie everything else that you want people to see onto that as a little, chapter or whatever it may be in your newsletter. I think from everything I've heard, it seems like email marketing is still one of the leaders, really.
That's what I've been told too. Yeah.
Yeah, people can save that. They can print it. Unlike a lot of social media where it's up and it's gone. You have to search for it if you want it. Again, not to discount social media by any means, but don't discount email. If you've got a fan base, for sure, reach out to them on that. Don't overuse it, but use it.
I agree with you, and I love your newsletter, Jeff, for two reasons. One, when I get it, it reminds me, oh crap, I got to get mine out tomorrow. So don't ever forget to send yours out, or mine won't be going out. But also because of what you just said, I do save it, and then if I'm going out and I'm like, oh, what local music is playing? Now, I like to mix it up. There's different local musicians that I like to follow, but how easy is it to find their information? Very easy to find yours. I go to my email, and there it is.
Yeah, I mean, it seems easy enough. You search for a name, boom, it comes up again. I mean, a lot of people aren't going to do that, but some people do. I'm amazed how many people tell me that that's their vehicle. They use that to see what's going on. Other people tell me, oh, no, Facebook. I'm glad you do so many updates on Facebook.
I like that too.
So that's become a big thing for me, I guess, in building a fan base and
we're getting you on Instagram next.
All right, we got to talk about that. I don't know much about that. But
I searched you on the way here because I was like, I wonder if he got on there yet. And
we talked about it.
When you search Jeff Kloetzel, there's like 9 posts, and I think 7 of them are from me. So, but that shows you that there are some other fans that have tried to tag you. So I'll help you. I'll help you with that. Instagram is cool.
But yeah, Facebook's been a big one for me, and I like the idea of Instagram too because I like the video or the visual aspect.
Yes,
I'm a very visual person, and what grabs me in the quagmire that is Facebook is a great image, or something let me take a second look at that. Well, if you don't put an image up, I don't know how people,
I know.
Why would people bother? It's going to get so overwhelmed by all the other stuff up there. But it's a great tool to use. A couple times a week. Here's what's going on this week, and then the day of, remind people what maybe coming up with some great images, whatever tie to your free YouTube channel if you're an artist, performing artist of any kind. I mean, you can create a YouTube channel for free. It's like a video pamphlet that's always out there, and tie that back to your other social media, so you drive people each way to go look at those things and just keep the name out there, I guess.
I love that. I'm looking at the clock and I'm upset as always because my hour goes way too fast because I have amazing guests. And Jeff, I really want to talk about the video that we did together because that was one of the most, I've really been enjoying the music art videos that I've done. My most recent one, I think you watched it. A few people have watched it, it's called Letting Go, and it's about the exhibit I'm doing in Portland, and it is to music by Martin Ball, and it is, the concept was about getting out of my head basically and just being creative. So it was shot inside of a human bird cage, and then I went paragliding, and it was magical to me. But the next video I have coming out, you can go to cammydavis.com to see that, CAMMY Davis.com. But I'm so excited about the next one coming out. It's the most creative one because we had a producer.
Yeah, the uber talented Jez Klein.
Oh my God, he was amazing. Watching him in action, like I've known him as a friend for a while, but watching him in action, I was just astounded. And then it had an amazing videographer, my sister Terry Harris. And you haven't seen the footage yet. I have. It is. Yes. Oh, it's good, Jeff. It is really good.
I can't wait till it's all edited together. That's gonna be awesome.
So, what did it feel from your point of view? What did you think about our the concept and the video shoot and just putting that product out there?
Oh, it was interesting. I like the tie of any fine art blended with another fine art, and that's where you shine in
Thank you.
Keeping the fine art painting medium blended with the music that inspired it. And I think it's a great idea to tag those two together. You can show the painting you created while that music is playing in the background and how you created it. This one will be a little different, I guess, because it's a really, truly kind of a story tagline.
Yeah.
So this one, there's a lot of paint.
Do you still have some in your ears, or did you get it all off?
I found out about 2 weeks later. I think I got all the paint off my body.
You got to see a picture. We've got a picture of this coming out soon, by the way.
A lot of the paint ended up on me.
Yes, it did.
It took a little while to clean that up. And
you were one of my funnest canvas ever to paint, I will admit. Right. So, yeah, you guys are going to have to watch the video. Basically, the concept was Jez's, and it was really cool, especially the point when he turned to Jeff and said, Jeff, how do you feel about nudity? Basically, I'm painting Jeff as part of the canvas, and it actually, I'm joking around and stuff, but it was actually really cool, and it was a really creative. I wish I had more time to paint when we were actually shooting the video. That was my only thing. He gave me like half an hour to paint. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many different angles to shoot in different places that make up the story that we got to the painting kind of late.
So, and now we've got 2 minutes to get to our final song, which is going to be the song that we did that to. The actual painting is called, Jeff's song is Come Back to Me. And the actual painting of the same name is right now in the 2nd Street Gallery in Bandon. But if you want to see it there, you got to look quickly because the Portland Gallery wanted that one bad. So I have to go pick it up and take it to Portland for that exhibit. Wow. So tell us about the song, because somebody wrote it. And you've got like a minute to tell our listeners.
All right, no problem. So Come Back to Me is a song originally written by Bud Serio, who is a fantastically talented guitar player, singer, songwriter, great human being that I played in an acoustic guitar duo with for 8 years in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
Bud passed away really, really randomly back in 2009. Not something that was expected at all. And he had never released any of his own tunes. He'd written many, many songs. And so this is one that I always loved of his.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, everybody can resonate with the emotion of missing somebody and really wanting them to be back as a part of your life. And that's what this song is about. I've been playing it for many, many years. I think I recorded 3 or even 4 versions of it along the way. And I really love the album version with some great performers on it, and I also did this little solo version on it, and that is the version I think we're going to use today, and that's what we use in the video as well.
I think that's the one we're going to use. We'll know when, because it is being professionally edited, which I'm really excited about. So we don't have the exact release date. Check cammydavis.com, CAMMY Davis.com. I'm sure we'll have it up on Jeff's site as well, which is Kloetzel.blogspot.com, and there will be links to him on artontheairwaves.com from our post today, and we'll get the podcast and the video version of today's show up as soon as possible. And I can't believe we ran out of time, because I wanted to ask you about the plum jam that you were making with your mom, because I thought that was adorable. And hi to Jeff's mom. I haven't met her, but I just thought that was an adorable thing, and she used to be an opera singer. So you're going to have to come back on and tell me about the plum jam and your mom. But thank you for being my guest today. And listeners, thank you for listening to Art on the Airwaves with Cammy Davis on KSKQ 89.5 FM.
Thanks, y'all. All right.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, Cammy.